Peace and blessings, beloved. I'm Kenjuan Garnett. Sit back, relax, and join me as we take a special look back at the very best of The Point. I met you originally a few months back at the Chicago Music Awards, and I must say you have taken poetry to another level. I kind of put, and I'm guilty of it, I kind of put spoken word and poetry into a box, and I thought it was, you know, the same old type of thing, you know, there's a gentle breeze through the flowers and the trees, but yada yada.
Oh, go ahead, get down there.
Get
down, go ahead.
But hey,
no, keep going.
But no, you have taken that to a whole nother level, and it's much more to the art than just that simplistic view of it, is it not?
There is. Spoken word itself is, you know, it's ancient, and it is, you know, it's our nursery rhymes, you know, it's, you know, Little Miss Muffet sound the Tuffet, and it's a more direct way of delivering a point. It is more loquacious, I guess, and verbose than other art forms. I would feel. You get more information in that rhyme. People remember it better. So, I guess in that instant, in that sense, I have taken it and put it to a world viewer format. I guess people can all over the world can identify with it. You know what I'm saying? Me telling my story about growing up in the street, and then my aspirations of love and so on and so forth. But I put it into a digestible format, and I think that resonates with people, and people identify with that. And you know, I'm flawed, and inside my poetry, I'm allowed to be flawed. I'm allowed to say I made a mistake, or what I did wasn't good for you, but it was good for me. You know what I mean? And people to understand that that's how we do in life sometimes. If I lose my wallet right now, and I got $300 in it, and that's bad for me, but it's good for whoever found it. And that's kind of how we balance our lives out. What is good, what is bad, what's agreeable, what's disagreeable, and that's a struggle for us as humans to figure it out. And I kind of am the soundtrack to that, you know. And there's other poets as well, but I think because my popularity of being on so many albums and so many large stages and television and movies and so on and so forth, I think that's why it's been. If people get a chance to, like you, get a chance to look at it from a different vantage point.
The comments of the Mr. Michael Richards, the comedian from Kramer fame. He's since apologized, but just that statement for that to surface kind of tells me a little bit that there's still some racial sentiment that still needs to be dealt with.
You know, you and I both know we're being all diplomatic for the cameras right now, but our community knows racism hasn't gone anywhere.
Sure.
It manifests itself and it has morphed itself into other forms and fashions. But you know, Michael Richards, you know, here is a man that's of privilege and education. He's educated, he's privileged, he's lived in LA, for goodness sake, probably one of the most tolerant places in our country. And that came out of his mouth because it was in his heart. That we know that exists. What's disturbing is when states like Michigan vote down affirmative action as though that there are no issues. Those issues have gone away.
Sure.
As though the playing field is level. So and what's afoot also is a dismantling of desegregation, as though there are no issues with our school system, as though the school system serves our African American, Hispanic children in the same way that it serves our white children. There's something wrong with that, and it's very unsettling and very disconcerting to even have those discussions of dismantling affirmative action and desegregation when there's no alternative to address these ever-present problems of failing schools and you know, economic disparity, you know, blighted, block after block of blighted communities. It's really it's unconscionable, and it's immoral, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Judge Studley, you have been praised for your innovative approaches in juvenile sentencing.
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit to your style?
Well, basically, what I tried to do is that I never wanted to be in juvenile court to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And when they transferred me there, I almost left the bench completely.
Mm.
But after being there for 3 months, I realized I should have been there my whole career. Because when I look out in the audience, 83% or more of the individuals out there look like you and I.
Mm-hmm.
So I found an obligation
Mm-hmm.
to get involved. And we're dealing with a society that historically has been unfair in its treatment of minorities and non-minorities.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that you should be soft on crime, because I'm totally not soft on crime. But I think kids make mistakes. And if you're going to make mistakes, you should make them while you're young so you can overcome them.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the programs I have in my court is that when a kid is sentenced by my court to a period of probation, I issue what they call a motion to vacate. Complete my probation, whether it be 1, 2, 3, or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Successfully, without any problems, I vacate the finding and dismiss the case like it never happened.
Okay.
That, to me, is giving them a second chance.
Absolutely.
You made a mistake. You probably won't ever have a presence in the court system ever again. So we should correct that mistake for you.
Absolutely.
Now, for 12 years, everybody went along with it, even to the point where I've gotten calls nationwide concerning how do you do this motion to vacate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, finally, 2 months ago, my state's attorney came to me and said, we've been ordered to request a transcript every time you issue a motion to vacate, because we're going to appeal you.
Hmm.
I told them to do what they have to do. I'm not going to change that.
Mm-hmm.
I just believe you have individuals who are of the Caucasian persuasion who appear before me, and by the time they appear before me, they have had 10 station adjustments.
Mm.
In other words, they have committed a crime,
Mm-hmm.
come into the police station, they call their parents, send them home.
Mm-hmm.
Young black kid appeared before me the first time for stealing a piece of bubble gum.
Mm-hmm.
He's right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to explain to the police departments out where I sit in the 6th municipal district, either we're going to be fair, or I have to make sure the playing field is level
Mm-hmm.
for young men of color who
Absolutely.
have been targeted. And when they do something wrong, believe me, I think they should be punished.
Mm-hmm.
But when they haven't done anything wrong, I think we have to protect them.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's the position that I've taken.
We've been hearing a lot ever since the brother came out with the whole download book, JL, how that phenomena has impacted HIV cases in the black community. And with your expertise, what role do you think the whole download plays?
You know, I mean, clearly, women, this is what we know about the statistics. We know that black women are disproportionately impacted by HIV.
Mm-hmm.
We know that somewhere about 52, 54% of all black women who are infected with HIV are infected because they had sex with a man. So that means that men are infecting women,
Mm-hmm.
black women. What we aren't really sure about is how their partners have become infected.
Okay.
Because there are some men who may fit in a couple categories: men who have sex with men, and or men who use IV drug use. You know, IV drug use is really a major problem also in our community. We think it's crack, it's heroin. We can move beyond the whole crack issue. It
Okay.
really is heroin. Now, clearly, there are men who have sex with men who then have sex with women. And that is a risk factor. That puts us at risk
Okay.
for HIV. But you know, JL is a real good friend of mine, and he and I, you know, have talked, and I said, you know, JL, I don't want to confuse the issue, and I don't want to demonize black men. And I think this whole down low issue demonizes black men, and it demonizes the discussion.